We will now be starting our tour through the plant cell. We will first be penetrating the cell wall, which is a substance made from fibers of carbohydrate and protein. Its main function is to provide support and protection for the cell, but will allow for substances such as water, oxygen, and carbon dioxide to pass through. The cell wall is a feature that only plant cells have and animal cells do not. We are now entering the cell membrane, which is a thin, flexible barrier around the cell. The cell membrane regulates what enters and leaves the cell and also provides protection and support. The cell takes in food and water and eliminates waste through the cell membrane. Within the cell membrane is the lipid bilayer, which is a double-layered sheet that forms the core of nearly all cell membranes. It's composed of lipids, which produce energy and are very integral to the cell membrane. The cell membrane also contains proteins, which facilitate what goes in and out of the cell. There are two types of transport of molecules. There's passive transport and active transport. Passive transport is the movement of molecules from high to low concentrations and doesn't require any energy. Active transport is the movement of solutes against the gradient, or from low to high concentrations. The substance we are traveling through is called the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is the material inside the cell membrane that contains many important structures, one of which are ribosomes. Ribosomes are the small particles made of RNA and protein floating around us. Ribosomes produce proteins following coded instructions that come from the nucleus. The production of proteins is one of the most important jobs carried out in the cell. Sometimes ribosomes don't roam free like we see now. Sometimes they're attached to the rough ER. The rough ER gets its name from the ribosomes that stud its surface. Newly made proteins move directly from these ribosomes into the rough endoplasmic reticulum, where they may be chemically modified. There is also the smooth ER, which does not contain ribosomes on its surface. The smooth ER contains collections of enzymes that perform specialized tasks. It's responsible for synthesizing lipids. When the rough endoplasmic reticulum produces proteins, they move into a stack of membranes called the Golgi apparatus, which we are now approaching. The Golgi apparatus was named after the Italian biologist Camillo Golgi, who discovered it. Enzymes in the Golgi apparatus attach carbohydrates and lipids to proteins. We are now approaching the mitochondria, which are organelles that release energy from stored food molecules. Mitochondria use energy from food to make high-energy compounds that the cell can use to power growth, development, and movement. The mitochondria have two membranes, an inner membrane, which is folded, and an outer membrane. Coming up is a chloroplast. The chloroplasts use the energy from sunlight to make energy-rich food molecules in a process known as photosynthesis. Only plant cells have chloroplasts. The last stop while traveling through the cytoplasm is the vacuoles. This is where the cell stores materials such as water, salts, proteins, and carbohydrates. Vacuoles are sac-like structures. Because we are traveling through a plant cell, there is a single large central vacuole filled with liquid. Pressure in these central vacuoles is what makes it possible for plants to support heavy structures such as leaves and flowers. As our tour comes to an end, we approach the nucleus, or the powerhouse of the cell. The nucleus is a large structure that controls most cell processes and contains the hereditary information of DNA. The granular material visible within the nucleus is called chromatin. It consists of DNA bound to protein and is spread throughout the nucleus. Inside the nucleus is also the nucleolus. It is a small, dense region where the assembly of ribosomes begins. Lastly, there is the nuclear envelope, which is what surrounds the nucleus. It is a double membrane layer dotted with thousands of nuclear pores, which allow material to move into and out of the nucleus. The nucleus sends a steady stream of RNA and other information-carrying molecules to the rest of the cell through the nuclear pores. This is the end of our tour through the plant cell. I hope you found it both enjoyable and educational.